Very good.
They've already announced
Good
this.
afternoon. I'm Austin Butner, Superintendent of Los Angeles Unified School District.
This is live, but California has already released to the AP, or the AP got it somehow. It's millions of dollars in prizes. And everybody who gets vaccinated over the next 2 weeks gets like $50. I get nothing. I didn't even get a sticker. I'm okay with it. I just want more people vaccinated.
To help students recover from this crisis. I also want to thank Congressman Gomez. The support from the federal government
really
alongside
quiet.
the state
Pump up
has
the
played a
volume.
critical role in helping get schools reopened safely. The foundation for recovery in schools was put in place many months ago when we brought together health and science experts from Stanford, Johns Hopkins, UCLA,
for goodness sake.
Anthem Blue Cross, HealthNet, and Cedars-Sinai to help us create the nation's most
This isn't even Gavin Newsom. This is I got vaccinated at my neighborhood schools. I just interested in the announcement. So the announcement's been made. Give me a second here. I'll find it. I'll get you the specs on that. AP just released it and show it to me, AP. You just now it's gone. Oh, the latest. That's why. I was looking on Twitter on the wrong. AP. At AP. Show me at AP. There we go. 2 tweets in the last hour. One of them has to be this because it. What? 2 hours. All right, I'm going crazy because I just saw the announcement. This Gavin Newsom is about to announce that California is going to give away something like $110 million in prizes to the people who get the vaccine in California. Why I don't see it now is a mystery to me. Someone should be talking about it. Hold on. There are specs out there, and now I'll search Twitter, see what it says. California vaccine. Hi, how's everybody? This is the live stream. Usually it's a little more coordinated. And the thing is, we're waiting for Governor Gavin Newsom. I believe he's having lunch at the French Laundry right now. Good to see everybody. Hi, Babe. Hi, Marcy. Hi, Chuck. Here we go. Boom. Associated Press. And it's an article. Here's the article. Californians, you know what? I'm not going to show you the article. That way we can keep an eye on this guy as well. And when Newsom comes up, we can get that. Californians will be eligible for $116.5 million in prize money for getting coronavirus shots. Governor Gavin Newsom announced Thursday a windfall aimed at getting millions more vaccinated before the nation's most populous state fully reopens next month. What are we watching here? This is the link on Governor Newsom's page. I don't know why. Hold on, let me see if there's something else going on. Not Twick. If he's already announced it on Twitter or something. Let's see, Newsom. Gavin Newsom, 2 tweets in the last hour. Okay, so 11 minutes ago, he announced it. $15 million in cash prizes for 10 winners. So am I eligible for that? Marcy sent me a DM. Hold on, let me check the DM here. Sent a link and...
To incentivize vaccines across the state are...
Wait a second. So is this him announcing it? Why was this
at the announcement in front of the state's tourism committee last week?
We're looking at state overlays of incentives very soon. We were ready to do that.
Oh, no, this isn't the actual announcement. But thank you, Marcy. This is still not it. Go ahead and play. Let's go live on this. And still no... here we get some details. So the most valuable single prize is $1.5 million. That's the highest of any state. States reopening is pegged for June 15th, and on that day, a drawing will be held to award 10 vaccinated people the top prize. Okay, so I'm eligible. That's all I really care about. I was hoping for a gift certificate for $400 for the French Laundry. Another 30 people will win $50,000 each. With those drawings June 4th, anyone 12 or older who has received at least one shot will be eligible. That's me, I think. And the next 2 million people who get vaccinated will get a $50 gift card. So I can't get the $50 gift card unless I want to go get vaccinated again, which probably isn't going to hurt me too much. Yes, I might get violently ill for a couple of days, but $50. Don't do that, by the way. If you're considering getting a third shot, don't. The state estimates about 12 million Californians 12 and older have not been vaccinated. About 63% of the 34 million eligible have gotten shots, though the pace has slowed markedly in recent weeks as infection rates have plummeted to record lows. That's good. That's exactly what should be happening. Not the slowing down. Ohio this week announced the first $1 million winner of the Vax-A-Million contest, as well as the first child to win a full college scholarship. Colorado and Oregon also offered $1 million prizes. It's interesting. So Ohio's a red state, and they offered it, but Mike DeWine he's a reasonable Republican in many respects, and thought, hey, this is one way to do it. And yeah, like a 22-year-old who just graduated from college won $1 million for getting vaccinated. How weird is it that we go through a pandemic that kills 3 million people, more than 500,000 in this country alone, and we suddenly need gift cards to get vaccinated? It is remarkable. And there are people that works on. Be like, yeah, that sounds great. $50. I've got questions. I'm really concerned about my safety, but $50. Are they Visa cards or what? I wonder what the gift cards are for. New York is raffling 50 full scholarships to children 12 to 17 to public universities and colleges in the state, selecting 10 winners each of the next 5 Wednesdays. I'm fine with that. Public universities, yeah, do it. That California is turning to cash prizes to encouraging vaccinations marks a major turnaround from earlier this year when Californians clamored for the shots. I was one of those clamoring, with some driving or waiting in line for hours to get one. And I'm done. Some Californians weren't ready to get their COVID-19 vaccines on day one, and that's okay. We're not supposed to shame them. That's okay. That's okay. You're a thinker. You've got questions, and questions are okay. You're thinking about yourself and not anyone else, and that's okay. What about if you're immunocompromised? Can you be part of the lottery as well? If you haven't been approved for the vaccine, are you eligible? In 1918, they gave away a free horse with your second vaccination. That's a fun fact I didn't know. That's fun. Horses are fun. I don't believe in riding horses because they're too smart. You know? And I don't know that if you have a horse and you ride the horse and you're pretty sure that the horse, here he comes, the horse wants to be ridden, that's fine.
Superintendent, thank you for your words and your work as well. I'll brag on both of you a little bit more in my remarks, but I just want to thank everybody for being here a day after we intended to meet. In fact, it was this time yesterday that I had hoped to be making the announcement that we're making today. Obviously, fortunate circumstances in Northern California and San Jose kept me away from making the announcement that we're making, and obviously goes without saying as we continue the investigation, learn more about the motivations behind the shooting, the tragic loss of 9 human beings, that we are mindful that we have family members and victims that have been devastated, lives torn asunder and destroyed, and we want to continue to be mindful of that, even in light of what I believe is a very positive and important announcement that we're making here today. With that, I want to pick up a little bit on what the Congressman said. I appreciate this framework around a comeback, because California is not just coming back, it's roaring back. It's important to note, and I saw President Biden today making remarks in Ohio about the economy in the United States. The economy in the United States has been disproportionately advantaged and aided by the state of California. Just consider last month, the new unemployment numbers came out in the state of California, showed 38%, close to 40% of America's jobs came out of the state of California. In some ways, that's not surprising. If you looked at the February jobs number, 41% of America's jobs came out of the state of California. As the Congressman said, this is a comeback story. The state of California no longer burdened, as the superintendent interestingly was bookmarking, by the challenges of scarcity. Now we'll be in the challenges of abundance as it relates to funding. Unprecedented record amount of funding going into K through 12 education, going into education broadly, early childhood education, as well as higher education. By one estimate, $46.3 billion more for K through 12 education just in the next 3 years, simply without precedent in California, American history. And so I want to acknowledge the superintendent's remarks and the opportunities we have, and more importantly, the responsibilities we have as adults and caretakers, as stewards of our next generation, to be there for them, to address the issues of making up for some of the loss in learning, making up for the lack of opportunities to learn over the course of the last year. But I'm here mindful that none of that is possible and none of that is achievable unless we continue on the pace that we are on in terms of vaccinating all eligible Californians. Here's the good news. California has the lowest positivity rate in America. California has the lowest case rate in America. California has vaccinated more Americans than any state in America. Over 37 million doses have been administered in the state of California. Put that in perspective. The next number of doses that have been administered in any other state is less than 15 million, less than what the state of California has administered. We have administered more than all but 5 nations in the world. California has outpaced the nation in terms of the average percentage of population that has been vaccinated. Roughly 2/3 of all adults now have been vaccinated, and we are well on our way of not only reaching that 70% number that President Biden has advanced, but we're on the way of doing that well before that 4th of July date that he has set. That said, we have seen a reduction in the number of people looking to get access to this vaccine. I'll just point out, in the last 3 weeks, 2.1 million people got vaccinated. About 2 million people 2 weeks ago, 1.9 million people in the last 7 days. That's not even close to where we were at peak, just shy.
That's actually really bad, because those numbers should be going up now that kids can get vaccinated. So you've got this whole population base, and a large population base in California, of people that are now eligible.
I have 3 million people over a 7-day period. So we're starting to see a decline in the total number of doses administered on a weekly basis. Not as precipitous as some other states, but we are mindful that if we continue down this path and this trend, we're not going to get where all of us need to be. And that is north of 70% of all eligible Californians getting administered doses of this life-saving vaccine, or to get our kids back in person 5 days a week for full instruction, to get our economy moving and humming across every sector and every industry. We need to do more, and we need to do better. And so what we are announcing today, we think, is significant in advancing and achieving our goals. The state of California today is announcing the most
Pumpkin Pie has a question. Maybe we aren't doing as well here. This is Canada, right? Pumpkin Pie, aren't you in Ontario? Could it be too early to celebrate? Until everyone is safe, no one is safe. You can't close the country forever. Yeah, once people are vaccinated, though, those people are okay to go out. You can't really catch it and in a dangerous way. You can, but the odds are very, very, very low. You can't spread it to anybody. Theoretically, you can, but your viral load because of the vaccine is way too low to do so.
Significant.
What I have been surprised by is that there's no differentiation made between Pfizer, Johnson & Johnson, because Pfizer, Moderna are probably more effective at preventing infection, the spread of infection. And Johnson, we don't know the stats on Johnson & Johnson yet. At least I haven't seen it yet. Yes, but yeah, we want everyone to get vaccinated ASAP. We want the virus to die out. We don't need everyone there, but a very large percentage. We don't want to know what that percentage is, but we need a reduction in the number of hosts so that the vaccine cannot mutate. This is just the rehearsal virus.
Incentive program in the United States of America. We're putting aside more resources than any other state in America, and we're making available the largest prizes of any state in America for those that seek to get vaccinated. Today, we're announcing that.
I mean, if you don't want to get the vaccine for $1 million, is $1.5 million going to make a difference? How many prizes is that? Let's see. The pot, so 10 people? Was it 1.5? 1.5 million? Was it 10 people? He'll say in a second here. Yeah, 10 vaccinated people, the top prize of $1.5 million. Just make it 1 million. Congratulations, California. I just saved you $5 million. You've already got $1 million. Like, you don't need the 1.5 just so you're bigger than Ohio. It's okay. Yes, I understand the cost of living differences. And if you went that way strictly, living in LA, it should be $17 million per. 1.5.
That we are setting aside incentive cards, 2 million incentive cards on a first-come, first-served basis for individuals that are eligible to get a vaccine that seek to get a vaccine. That's effective today in the state of California. If you're 12 years or older, you can receive a
that is big money for a 12-year-old, $50. So I'm actually all for that. It seems silly that we have to do that, but there are people out there who wouldn't mind getting vaccinated. They're not desperate to get vaccinated, but it costs them time and money. Well, you know what? For your efforts, here's $50. Sorry that you had to leave work early. Here's $50. Sorry that you had to come spend a Saturday sitting in line instead of with your kids. Here's $50.
$50 incentive card from Kroger's, Albertsons, or if you choose, just a traditional MasterCard $50 card that will allow you to utilize those dollars anywhere. If you're a family of 4, you do the math. If you're a family of 6, do the math.
I can't.
That opportunity avails itself to everybody until we exhaust those 2 million.
If you're a family of 17,000, you're rich. Do the math.
Cards. So that is a $100 million incentive program, and we hope to distribute all those dollars before June 15th. And indeed, we are prepared, and we believe we will be ready for that June 15th reopening fully of the economy here in the state of California, moving beyond the blueprint, moving beyond.
Okay, so can I stop wearing my mask now? Because I'm all vaccinated already. I'd like to announce it's 10 lucky people will be able to remove their masks on June 15th. An additional 50 people will be able to wear their masks just below their nose and annoy the fuck out of everybody else.
On the purple, red, orange tiers, now moving back to that semblance of normalcy all of us have long looked forward to. So $100 million we're putting aside. $50 gift cards available today for anyone that has not been vaccinated to have that opportunity to be vaccinated. It's a digital card. You'll receive a text message or you'll receive an email, and after your second dose or the first dose of the J&J, you'll actually receive those proceeds, those dollars.
Oh.
But we recognize.
So J&J gets you the money quicker.
That's for new
So 3 to 4 weeks quicker if you just get the Johnson & Johnson.
individuals. What about everybody else that did the right thing? What about you? 2 weeks ago, 2 months ago, took the
Yeah, so Lovely Apples lives in the Bay Area, so $1.5 million to you is like a $50 card to Kroger's in Ohio. It's almost equivalent. You're going to have to cover the tax. So just buy the bread and food only so that
time away from work, waited in a long line, maybe drove 50 miles into another county and got vaccinated and gave us the momentum that put us in the position we are today, again, with the lowest case rates and the lowest positivity rates in America. But we also want to give you a chance to be rewarded. And that's why we're doing two significant things. On June 4th and June 11th, Friday, June 4th, on Friday, June 11th, the state of California will be conducting a drawing. Everybody that has been vaccinated in the state of California will have their name put into this drawing. They are all eligible. And all of those of you before those dates that get vaccinated, I hope you're paying attention. You get the $50 incentive card, and you have a chance to be in a drawing where we will be pulling the names of 15 individuals that will receive $50,000 cash prizes. We'll do that on the 14th, and again, 15 individuals, $50,000 on June 11th.
So congratulations, Californians. You have a 1 in a million shot at winning $50,000.
All of that leads up to June 15th. On June 15th, we'll be distributing an additional $15 million. On June 15th,
in Kroger cash,
we are going to make available to 10 individuals, everybody that has been vaccinated in the state of California, with a few caveats, and I can talk through those caveats, but the vast majority of
I'm kind of interested in the caveats now.
Californians eligible that have...
I want the girl who just won it in Ohio, it's got an H in it. I want her to move to California and then win it again, because that's how it happens. There was a lady, There was a lady in East LA back when I lived in East LA. She won the lottery on a Saturday, didn't unsubscribe from her numbers, and won it again on Wednesday.
Received a first dose. Those that seek to get a first dose before June 15th.
I have a lottery story too, but I'll tell you that afterwards if I remember.
$15 million that night will be distributed, $1.5 million prizes for 10 individuals. So these are real incentives. These are an opportunity to say thank you to those not only seeking to get vaccinated as we move forward, but also those that have been vaccinated since we first availed those opportunities a number of months ago. This is all in an effort to incentivize and build momentum and put a date with some expectation that by June 15th, we'll move north of that 70% threshold for adults, and that we can significantly...
Okay, so we've got the lowest positivity. We're doing really, really well with case numbers. Can we open some more stuff up? That's all I'm saying. Why are we waiting till June 15th? Why is June 15th the magic number? Let's go with the science, shall we?
Increase the number of 12-year-olds that also are eligible. All 12-year-olds, 13, 14, 15, 16, and 17-year-olds eligible for the full $1.5 million. I know some other states are just putting aside education dollars. We want to do that and that $1.5 million.
There's going to be like a 16-year-old with $1.5 million in LA.
Dollars be for your education. You can start a business. You can dream a little bit differently. You can help support your friends, family. You can do the right thing and set aside most of that money, maybe give it to charity, but that will be your decision on the basis of those dollars being set aside for...
He said your, and he went like this. That's you.
For you on your 18th birthday, but all children 12 and up will also be eligible for those prizes. We're doing that in order to encourage you. Now,
how do I make sure that my name is actually on that list? Curious. Because I did take my data and all that, but is that, like, how do I know that my name is included?
Not only with that $50 gift card, but with this significant prize and incentive program. So it's multifaceted, $116.5 million we're setting aside for these efforts. Those gift cards, again, those incentive cards will run through till we run out, 2 million of them. And then we have some ideas. Don't ask me because I'm not prepared to tell you, but we have more ideas coming after June 15th. But we want to see how far this takes.
It sounded just a little bit James Bond villainy there. Don't ask me because I'm not prepared to tell you. We have some other ideas for you, Mr. Bond.
Before June 15th. We've seen the success in a handful of other states of these incentive programs. I had the privilege of being on with governors from all 50 states on Tuesday.
Whoa. Hold on here, Lizzie. They're giving away $1 million to one person in each county in Oregon. There are counties in Oregon with like 3 people. And it's one guy with MPD. Am I making fun of people with MPD? No, I am not. But I am. So are we.
Tuesday, and we were sharing best practices in incentives. And we're incorporating some of those strategies, but we're doing them in our own California way. You don't have to register to do this, as is the case in other states. You're automatically registered. You don't have to receive the prize. Some people may be sheepish. We also keep your name confidential.
I'm down with MPD. Yeah, you know us. I'm down with MPD. Yeah, you know us. MPD is multiple personality disorder. But you knew that. Yes, I did.
Confidential, as your name rightfully should be confidential, unless you want to make it public. So we put this together very thoughtfully, thoroughly. Been working on it for, dare I say, over a month. We've been pleased.
You may dare.
By the pace of distribution administration of the vaccines, but early this week, really on Sunday and Monday, we started to see that decline, which raised the opportunity for us to raise awareness around these incentives. And
so the case rate fell, no, the vaccine rate fell, so that gave you an opportunity to offer these incentives. Otherwise, you couldn't have. Opportunity. Politicians love the word opportunity. They'll use it any, I want to say, chance.
Put them to use and make them real for millions and millions of Californians that are eligible. We encourage you to go to myturn.gov. We also encourage you to go to COVID-19.
myturn.ca.gov. Isn't it? Am I wrong? Hold on. It's not myturn.gov. Is it? Does that go there as well? Yeah, myturn.gov doesn't go there. myturn.ca.gov is where you got to go for California.
19.ca.gov website for more information, covid19.ca.gov. And as always, that 1-833 number 422-4245. That's 833-422-4245 to learn about approximate location, including here in schools large and small, thanks to the superintendent's leadership, as sites and points of opportunity to just walk in and get vaccinated without even having to schedule. We're going to be doing more on pop-up sites. We're going to do more on mobile sites. We're going to continue to do more with community-based organizations. 480 now we've contracted with.
Kimchi, I debated that. It does work better, but I decided to go for the grammar.
To do in language, more cultural competent outreach.
Now that I'm thinking about it, I like we better.
To address the equity gaps that continue to persist. We're going to do more by extending hours of operations for vaccines. More transportation for vaccines will be provided, not just incentives. And thank you again to the LA Unified School District Superintendent and the school board for their outstanding support of opening up these school sites, which we also think is a game changer in terms of providing the capacity for people to really feel comfortable and confident. Because these are sites they know, community members they respect and admire, and a sense of community as we advance our public health goals are also advanced at these key sites. So that's the, forgive me, long-winded introduction to what we think is a very significant announcement in the state of California. Hope people avail themselves to these opportunities, and I can assure you it's going to put a smile on the face of people right now that aren't aware of it next door. in that gym that are all eligible now to receive those cards and incentives that had no idea when they walked in that those dollars.
Congratulations, guys. You're eligible to win the lottery. Oh. Well, that'll save me $1.
Will be soon in their accounts. So with that, we're happy to answer any questions, and I'm pleased as well to have Dr. Galley, our Dr. Fauci, here today to answer any questions as well.
Governor, Chris Ancarlo with KFI News, and the question I have, you kind
KFI News, radio station here in Los Angeles.
of touched on there at the end, which is you've been working on this for about a month. Was there a specific threshold you were looking for to go ahead and roll this program out? And it also seems as though you're targeting less affluent neighborhoods that have seen lower vaccination levels. Is that the case?
Yeah, we continue to work hard. As you know, California was the first state, and I want to thank the congressman who was, early on in my ear saying you got to do more and do better, and he was right. To achieve the issue of equity. And you can't do that in large-scale sites. I think there was a lot of push and attention early on in this pandemic as relates to vaccine distribution, these large-scale sites, but it was self-evident, you go to those sites, that we weren't meeting our diverse populations, and we needed to go mobile.
Yeah, I got vaccinated in East LA. I went and stood in the line in East LA because there's a big mass site in East LA where a whole bunch of vaccine appointments just were going unfulfilled. 57% of Latinos in California are not vaccinated. Only 40% of whites in California are not vaccinated. Latinos are... Now, that being said, 43% of Latinos have gotten vaccinated. But 57% have decided not to, or are not doing it for some other reason. But California is working very hard to get something called vaccine equity. That's that. I didn't take a vaccine away from somebody. I went and got extra vaccine.
We need to meet people where they are, regardless, by the way, of their immigration status. And Congressman, regardless of your immigration status, you're eligible for these incentives. We want everyone from a public safety and public health paradigm to get vaccinated in our state. So we have more work to do. 85.1, that's the number, millions of dollars, $85.1 million we put up to invest with our community-based organizations. You're seeing more promotions, more in-language outreach efforts. We're building on the work we did for the census. I met a young promotora leader, remarkable woman who's working here, knocking on doors. Met a number of people that are part of our GeoTV program, Get Out the Vaccination, not the vote program, doing phone banking. People quite literally, when we say meeting people where they are from an equity frame, literally walking the streets and just saying to folks, if you haven't been vaccinated, do you want to take advantage of these opportunities? Now they'll be aided by these resources and this very significant incentive of $1.5 million and this $15 million drawing on June 15th. But as it relates to the last few weeks, interestingly, we have held pretty strong on our administration of doses, and that's why we didn't move earlier. But this last week, we started to see, particularly in the first shots, what's held up is the second shots. So it's actually made it look as if we're doing better than we actually were in terms of total number of administered doses. But it's those first doses, those first shots that are way down. And so you can see that cliff coming in the next week or two. And this is what we're trying to mine and trying to address as it relates to the announcement today.
Interesting.
Hi, Governor. Brian Melley with the Associated Press. I'm wondering, in your wildest dreams, did you ever think you were going to have to spend $116 million to incentivize people to take free shots to prevent a potentially deadly disease? And what do you say to critics that would say that that's bad spending of public dollars?
Well, I think the worst spending is burying your head in the sand and continuing to do what you've done and not achieve the goals of getting all of us back on our feet, and keeping people healthy and safe. Look, point being, the cost of not getting vaccinated is exponentially, incalculably higher. I don't think this, I know this. Just ask the Treasury, federal Treasury, the cost associated with this pandemic. Ask people in the state of California and the costs in terms of business interruptions, the cost in terms of the opportunity not to be back in school for in-person instruction. We can't afford to run, forgive me, the 90-yard dash. We got to finish the job. And what we're seeing here is that 10%, between 20% of Californians eligible getting the vaccinations and 30%, that was easy compared to getting from 60 to 70%. Getting from 70 to 80% will be even more challenging still. So this is about as...
And I'm holding off getting my vaccine until gift cards are up to 100.
I think wise.
I'm no idiot.
A use of resources as we can identify in terms of a public health emergency that needs to be tackled head on. And we are still in that state of emergency. This disease has not gone away. It's not taking Memorial Day weekend off. It's as deadly as ever. Ask the dozens of families who lost a loved one just in the last 24-hour reporting period to this disease. It continues to take the lives of Californians at all ages, not just the very old. We know that young have been impacted and have lost their lives to this disease as well.
Hello, Governor. Susan Hirosuna, Fox 11 News, a.k.a. Alex Michelson's subordinate. I have this question for you. Is there any projection on how much these incentives will work? There is a behavioral economist that suggests that monetary incentives are only somewhat effective.
We worked with UCLA. They just put out a study.
Oh, okay. Somewhat effective. Sounds okay.
Their estimate is 31% of people that they surveyed in their research said this makes them, quote unquote, more likely to get vaccinated. Now, there were some interesting components of that research.
Only 31% are more likely to get vaccinated for $1.5 million.
That did look at the issue of socioeconomics, looked at the issue of race, ethnicity, that also showed across the spectrum that people would be more likely to be vaccinated. Nonetheless, we're mindful that this is novel, though not as novel as it was just a few weeks ago. Again, you've seen states that are handing out Girl Scout cookies, some that are handing out fishing and hunting licenses, some that are doing $20 LL Bean coupons, some that are doing shots for shots, quite literally, shots for shots. So people have been iterating with incentives, and increasingly you're seeing a number of states, 5 or 6, with these larger cash grants, and we have seen some enthusiasm.
Larger cash grants? Well, that's not fair to Mama Cass. She couldn't help it. She had a glandular issue.
In those states, and we want to see if we can replicate that enthusiasm here.
Governor Margaret Carrero, KNX Radio, thank you again for taking questions. Estimated 12 million people eligible in the state for the vaccine have not gotten it yet. How many people do we need to get vaccinated to get past that 70% mark? And for the $1.5 million prizes, do people need to be fully vaccinated or just have the one shot and be on their way?
Yeah, it's one shot. Now remember, J&J, you just need one shot. But the vast majority of people are using the 2-shot regimes for Pfizer and Moderna. Remind you that Pfizer is the only one that currently has the emergency use authorization for 12 to 15-year-olds.
That's a good reminder.
Expect Moderna to shortly get that same emergency authorization. So that's a 2-shot regimen. You get the...
I don't know of anywhere you get freebies with a vaccination card, but if somebody tells me where to go, I'll go. I got my vaccine card.
The actual incentive card at the end of your second dose or the first dose of J&J, but everybody after their first dose is eligible for those Friday $50,000 prizes and drawings, and for the $15 million June 15th pool of $1.5 million for 10 individuals.
Hello, Governor. My name is Julio Ortiz with Univision, Channel 34 here in LA. If I'm undocumented and I become vaccinated, but I don't have a social security number, and
This is an excellent question, because that's exactly what I thought of when he first announced the prize.
become the winner of this lottery, how do I claim, or will I have issues claiming that prize?
Yeah, we're working through those details, but this is eligible for all Californians, regardless of their immigration status, that got vaccinated with at least one vaccine.
So you could end up with several undocumented immigrants. This is going to make Fox's day. That's all they're going to be talking about.
Be eligible. We have your information in our system. The exception.
That's what undocumented immigrants want to hear. The information is in the system. Like they're going to give a real name.
Exceptions include those at CDC.
That's part of the issue too. Here is that the percentage of the population that is undocumented is actually quite large in certain areas in Los Angeles, and they are really hesitant to get vaccinated. Some places have opened up that are just like, no questions asked. Well, but we don't need to know your name. You don't need insurance. It's free. Just please, for the love of God, get vaccinated.
Are incarcerated, those that were vaccinated but are not residents of the state of California, those like me in the GEO, what they call GEO offices in the state of California, folks at the Department of Health, you got to mind folks, Department of Health, and then a number of other categories. We included, not surprisingly, folks in the state lottery that work for the state lottery, others that we just felt were appropriate not to be considered. We're working, there's one interesting caveat, the database for the VA is different from the state database. We're working to try to address some of that. So there are some issues in all of this. No one's being naive about this. We're doing it at a scale it's never been done, but we are.
No one's being naive about this. We know this is good. I mean, it's going to be problems. There are going to be massive problems. We're hoping that we don't have to give away any of the money.
Also aided and supported by the experts at the lottery, though this is not being run through the lottery. It's not the lottery, but we have the expertise in terms of the veracity of the process and obviously the dual responsibility and considerations as it relates to all things public health and all of the confidentiality that comes with your public health and your desire to see that that information remain confidential, and we are committed to that as well.
Hi, Governor. Jen McGraw with KTLA-5. Is California having to offer more incentives and this historic funds because of the slow vaccine rollout?
Quite the contrary. California has already administered 37 million doses of vaccines, 15 million more than the next best state, Texas. It's one of the top administered dose states in America. It's number 2 in large states by the last estimate, number 12 of the 58 states, the highest in terms.
Oh, there's 58 states now, states and territories.
A percentage of population, so quite the contrary. We just want to continue to do the job. We're seeing a significant decline in some of those southern states, and we want to continue to accelerate our efforts here. Good enough never is.
A little dig on the southern states.
And California wants to continue to lead. And I'll remind you again, lowest positivity rates in America, lowest case rates in America, a $75.7 billion and growing operating surplus. We'll enjoy the highest reserves in state's history, and we're enjoying an economic rebound that allows us to confidently say the state's not coming back, it's coming roaring back.
Hi, Governor. I'm Tom Waite with CBS Los Angeles. I'm told I'm your final question. So first, a logistical question, and then just go back to Margaret Carrero on the sort of magic number that we need to get to. Is there a way, my first question is there a way to sort of get people who have already been vaccinated, how do they verify just to make sure that they're in that registry, that they can get these incentives? And then just Margaret's question about reaching that threshold, what number, that's that magic number you're looking to get to?
Yeah, a couple things. So you're automatically in. People that have gotten vaccinated had to go through a process and a protocol where their names are already secure. I can just say this, confidence, if you want to get vaccinated again, you think you're going to have your name in twice, not going to work. So don't go back and get vaccinated again. Won't make any difference.
My name is Kevin Williams. It's in there thousands of times, trust me.
Period, full stop. So you don't need to game that. We have a process protocol. It's called CAIR, C-A-I-R. That process protocol is well established here in the state of California, working with counties large and small up and down the state. There is a lag in terms of that data collection. And so for those, as we get closer to June 4th, I would just encourage you, this is my own humble opinion, because of that lag, try to get these vaccines earlier. Take advantage of this 3-day weekend. Take advantage of the ability to walk in, even here, this high school, and just walk right in and get a vaccine. Not only you get those $50 incentive cards, your loved ones can get them as well. Your friends, extended family members, maybe you've been vaccinated, but you want to encourage them this weekend to get vaccinated, do so. And the sooner
And don't tell them that they're getting a card. Feel like, no, I'll fill everything out for you. You're good.
they do it, the more likely their names will be in the hat on the June 4th drawing, the June 11th.
Stephanie, yeah, you are. You are the only person in the United States with your name until Stephanie Bjorgi wins the lottery. And then there's going to be like, no, I'm also Stephanie. They're like, son of a...
drawing, and then again on the June 15th drawing. So if you're disappointed on June 4th, you didn't win $50,000, you got June 11th, your name will be automatically in that pool, and then again on June 15th. So we're driving to June 15th. There is no magic number. We believe we'll get well in excess. Look, we're almost there. 2/3 of adults are already received at least one shot in the States, so we'll get north of 70% unquestionably. But we've got to incentivize folks to do so. We had 163,000, people get administered doses yesterday, which was decent, but as I said, over 2/3, I didn't say this, but I did say the vast majority are second doses. Over 2/3 are the second dose, just to reinforce that the second dose is really driving those numbers. Yikes. And so they could be a little misleading. We got to get those first dose numbers up.
Yeah, he's absolutely correct on that. The first dose numbers are the key dose. So, yeah. Wow. He didn't say the percentage before, but that's pathetic. That tells you that just about everybody in California who is interested in getting the shot has gotten the shot. Hold a lottery or something. I don't know. For the love of God. Oh, boy.
And each and every member of the public can do that, and now they have more of an incentive.
Yeah, no wonder they're panicking. But this isn't really panicking. I mean, this if it works, it's genius. But wow. We should look at I haven't seen the Ohio vaccination numbers since they announced. We'd have to look at the first vaccine only. Somebody want to do that? Send me a link if you find it. When did they announce? It's got to be, 2-3 weeks ago now that DeWine announced the Ohio lottery? I'm sure there's newspaper articles about it. Somebody could just Google effectiveness but it's got to be first vaccines.
More of a reason to do that. I want to thank the other governors for their ingenuity and innovative spirit. Thank you for their example. I want to thank our team for organizing these prizes and these incentives. I want to thank each and every one of you in the state of California, 40 million strong. Everything that was just said is because of your grit, your hard work, and your tenacity, and more importantly, your resilience. Thank you for this privilege.
And your reluctance to get vaccinated from a global pandemic. And also your tenacity.
And again, to the superintendent, thank you for the great work you're doing with these school-based sites. And to our Congressman Gomez, thank you for all the federal funds that have long had a framework of focus that we care deeply about, our North Star, equity. And that's a big part of the announcement today as well. Thank you all.
Okay, so that's going on. Let's check in over at Right Side Broadcasting and see what's happening in that neck of the woods. This is Dalton, Georgia, so that redneck of the woods.
If you want to get your donations rolling, or if you have any shout-outs, it doesn't even have to be a donation, let me know. You can tag me, Liz Willis,
so
and it'll highlight.
See there are some old white people there and some security staff. So that, no one wearing a mask yet that I've noticed. And, those must be Marjorie Taylor Greene's children, maybe? Because they do not fit. They're working staff. They all have the same T-shirt on. What else is happening? The lady who's doing this, the host, is very expressive with her facial expressions. And I like it. I've just been watching her silently over to the side while you guys have been listening to Gavin. And a lot of empty seats. Tons of empty seats here. Looks like, unless they're saving the first few rows for people, there's just nobody sitting there. So, sparsely populated event. I don't know. Do you guys want to do this? Do you guys want to do the... Should we come? It's probably going to be a while. Should we come back later and do this? I don't know that we have to sit through all of this. What time is it? It's 3:14. Does anybody have an official time on this event? Let's see, it's 6:13 there. It probably starts at 7:30, blah, blah, blah. So tell you what, I'll kind of keep monitoring it, and then I'll come back. You might have 2 tickets to this event, Marcy. You might. You just might. I'm also a big K-pop fan myself. Yeah, we'll come back and cover that. How many chairs do you think this is, guys? If there's 3 sections that look like that, we can figure it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18. So say 20 across by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, maybe 15 rows by 20, so 300, so 900 people, less than 1,000 people in the entire hall, plus security. Looks to be just like a basic warehouse, maybe a convention center somewhere. But okay, good for them. There's a young person, and I bet you she's working there because she's dressed nicely. And we're zooming in on other things going on here. There's old white people, additional old white people. And then the lady standing there, she's an old white person. There's security directing in some old white people. Some overweight older white men. And there's another overweight older white male. And there's an older white lady, but she's got her hair dyed. So another overweight, mostly white man. Some more overweight white men. And there's a black guy walking through. Okay, he might be one of the speakers. This is Georgia, by the way, but this is Dalton, Georgia. This is very, very rural Georgia. If I remember correctly, and I sometimes do, I think Dalton is where Trump gave his speech right before the Senate runoff in Georgia. Someone can fact check me on that, or don't. It doesn't matter, but it didn't help. It's rural Georgia. And by the way, there's a cell phone company now for Patriots, Patriot Mobile, if you want to check that out. Okay, so we'll cover that later, maybe, guys. We'll come back and cover it. Do you guys want to watch? Are you interested? Should we do that as a live stream? See if this event's ended. Let me close that window. Anybody? Hey, Yusuf. Long time no seeing. Hope everyone's having a great time. We did have a great time. I mean, I did, I guess. California's giving away millions of dollars. Hell yes, watch. Okay, we'll tune in later. Somebody DM me or something if it gets started and I haven't noticed. I'm not going to keep my eye on it. We might get a gem of MTG, but there's like enough stupidity going on right now. I don't have to seek it out. So that's what we'll do. We'll come back later on today and we'll watch the MTG Matt Green thing. I think I already have like a thumbnail already for it, so we'll put that together. I'll schedule it on YouTube like at midnight, but we'll just break in whenever it happens. So set your notifications, and we'll see you later tonight. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye.